Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is a speaker and author of several books on relationships. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Men do not like flaky women. You know what? And I need to address this issue. And this is funny. I know I have mostly black female audience, maybe a few women of other racial groups, but this is universal. I've yet to meet. You know, when men sit around and talk about what they like in a woman, and we do so in groups. Men, if we get together, two things that will come up in a conversation: sports and women. In fact, I've written this in one of my novels. I said you can go anywhere on the planet, and if you need to make some a connection, either talk about, well, most of the planet talk about soccer, then basketball, maybe football. Talk about a sport. Everybody plays a sport. Everybody got some sport. Even if you only play that sport or even know about the sport, talk about it, right? And women. Right? But one thing universally men never talk about, like when we talk about women, you know, the first thing is the body. I ain't shocking anybody, and I ain't gonna be dishonest about it. We talk about the body, but then once we get past that, then we talk about her personality traits, right? And notice I say we don't talk about how educated she is or how much money she got. So it's her body, then her personality traits. I have never if I'm 53 now, probably started talking about girls when I was like 5. So in 48 years of life, I have never heard one single male, understand, probably talk with thousands of men in my life just about women. I've never heard a single one say, you know what, that woman flaky as hell. Yeah, I want her. Right? You know, and that's a good thing. Now, usually what happens is if a woman is very physically attractive and the man just wants to have sex with her, you know, he'll still mention she's flaky. He still might try to get with her, but he ain't trying to be in a relationship with her. Flakiness is something men can't stand. Now, that flakiness like manifests in different ways. It can manifest in just flaking on a date. We can't stand that. If a man takes the time, wants to feed you, because Rom don't want to feed you. I'm gonna just be real with y'all. Rom ain't pressed. You better be something special for me to think about feeding you. All right? You know, yeah, you better be something special. For me to think about it, just to consider it. All right? But you got other guys, they will spend like a couple $100, take you to a fancy restaurant, take you out, take you to the show and all of that, right? Make the plan. I mean, he'll do what women say men need to do is plan the date. He got everything going. I mean, he figured it out. Shoot, he went and got that haircut. He paid $100 on sale for that cologne kit. You know, got him some new shoes, got his teeth cleaned that day. You know what? Got his car detailed. I mean, shoot, cleaned up around his place. I mean, you got some men who will do all of that just to hear a woman at the last minute say, oh, I can't make it. That pisses off a man. Like, ladies, I'm going to tell you what. Unless you have a death in the goddamn family, if that man asks you on a date, go on a date. All right? They ain't saying you gotta have sex with them or anything. You know, and y'all, you know what? If depending on the man, if the vibe ain't really there for all of that, he ain't gonna be pressed. But if a man do all that, the least you can do is go. Don't be flaking on a guy on that. And that's just one thing that really universally pisses men off. But Flaky could just be that type of wishy-washy type of personality or ditzy type of personality or something like that. Now, that's an interesting case. Like if you like that flaky, ditzy type of flaky, right? Like scatterbrain, something like that, right? That's a different case. Because if you young, like you 23, and you're like that, well, a lot of guys will still mess with you, but they ain't gonna take you seriously. In fact, you got some guys. Well, part of the game I don't like to talk about is like really smart players. They just know which women to mess with. And a ditzy young girl, hey, that's right in line. You can do what you want with her. Then since she's ditzy and flaky, you ain't gonna want a long term. It's like, boom, we kicking her to the curb. It's kind of cute then. And notice I say kind of cute. But if a woman, I've met women who, they got that same ditziness. They 40, 50. Seriously, I mean, shoot, I could blow up. There's a whole community, subculture of them out there. There's a whole subculture of them out there, right? And some people who follow some of these groups or tantra or poly groups know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So you got a bunch of like flaky, ditzy type of women all over the place, embracing that shit, in fact. But that shit get on a man's nerves. Like if you older and ditzy, you just that crazy woman. You probably see him at the club or sometime, that crazy woman, or, you know, because any man, first of all, men value loyalty in a woman. We value a woman who's got our back. We value a woman who's going to do what she says she's going to do. Y'all always talk about men and doing what we say we're going to do. We value a man who's going to be there. We value that woman who, you know what, we set the date, she at least going to go and try to have a good time. She ain't going to flake on it, right? Or she ain't going to tell you one thing and change. That's seriously. That's why a lot of women can't figure out why some men might not want to deal with them. Because they might be in a social circle where they could be cool with that guy and get to know him, even consider him friends, but wondering why that guy, even though they like the guy, don't want to take him further. Because he flaky. We can't stand that. And really, it goes back to what I've talked about in a video before, little girls versus grown women, right? A little girl is tolerable when she's in her 20s and all the guy wants is sex. She's tolerable then. Personally, I don't think they should mess with them then anyway, because emotionally it is pretty much child abuse, in my opinion. If somebody's in their 20s and their mindset is still that of a teenager, you shouldn't mess with them. Unfortunately, you get some women who they in their 50s and their mindset is that of a teenager. Unfortunately. But that, that little girl thing, that ditzy thing, flaky, you all over the place thing, you got women in their 50s and stuff still can't figure out what they trying to do in life. That's only going to like appeal to some dude who just wants you for sex. So then your personality don't matter at all too. But if you get a grown ass man, and really that could range from somebody from 18, or if they like me, they had to grow up early, 8, right? They ain't gonna tolerate like little girl behavior or ditzy behavior. It'll take a lot. It'll take a lot of patience. It's gonna be hard for them. It's gonna be hard for them. Most will not deal with it. Now you might be able to catch a guy who's not astute when he's young, when you younger. And he might be a little flaky as his own damn self, so he might tolerate it then. But any women, y'all need to be messing with mature ass men anyway. And when I say mature, like mentally mature, it's not about the age or the number. It's about like where his head is at. And if that dude got a sharp mind, it would take a whole lot for him to want to deal with your shit. So any women who got that, every woman who's been flaky in their life, somebody done told them. Flaky, ditzy, scatterbrained, anything like that, somebody done told you. You need to deal with that. You need to get your shit together. You need to get your shit together. Now, if you just want any old dude, you just want dick from any old dude, and I'm going to say dick, you ain't going to get a relationship. Because even the scuzziest dudes, even the nicest guys, they ain't going to put that. See, that's one thing. Even nice guys, good guys, guys with good character, simp types, ain't gonna put up with that shit too long. They ain't not gonna put up with it. So if you get the top-notch guys got something going on, they definitely not gonna put up with it. So if it's been pointed out to you, got that personality, you need to work on it. Real talk. I'm just being real because I see it too much. I see too many women out here, and they be wondering how they get in. I'm like, I can tell them in a second. I'll be like, how old are you? Like, grow up, figure out what you want to do in life. Now, I've said before, I've gone on record before, it's like, our main thing with women, a woman's education and, how much money she making ain't going to be like the top priority. But it's going to be in there. It's going to be on the list for the more a man wants to bring you into his life, the more it's going to be on the list. It's going to be somewhere on there. And how you carry yourself, how much loyalty you have, if he can depend on you. Because on a practical level, even if you flaky, he might need. A smart man ain't going to trust you. Because a flaky woman means a woman who will cheat on him. And men value loyalty. You want a man to love you. If you loyal to a man, he'll find a way to love you. And there's a lot of men who will deal with a woman who maybe don't look as good as other women, don't have it going on as physically, but if she's loyal, there's a lot of men who will rather deal with that. But the flaky thing, I have never, ever, I can't think of one man who like expressed a preference for it. Because even the men who get, and there's going to be some men who even like get caught up in a long-term relationship with a flaky woman or even marry that flaky woman, right? It's going to happen, but even they won't say they like it. In that case, it's more of a case of she brought something else that he wanted to the table, and he's willing to tolerate it. Or he had the type of personality. You got some dudes, they can tolerate it better, and that's only because it's a trade-off. You always got to trade off something, so they just say, all right, she flaky, but she do this, and that for me. So, So deal with that, ladies. I mean, like I said, as I always say, this channel is to tell y'all the real shit you need to know, not what you want to hear. So anyway, deal with that. Men don't like flaky women. So that's it. Talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.